All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we got our first ever dedicated Riftbound video for the channel here. Going to be going over some spoilers. So spoiler warning up front here for some of the new cards that have been spoiled for Riftbound, the Riot Games League of Legends TCG coming out. I don't know the exact date on release yet. I will try to keep you guys updated, keep you guys posted when we have an official release date for over here in the West. But from what I understand, they're going to be getting it in the East first, over in China first, and then we will be getting it in the West. But until then, let's go ahead and check out some of these cards. I will have, let's just hop straight into it, guys. I will have everything timestamped in the general description, and I'll have all relevant links and stuff like that in the comments section below. If you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those down in the comments section below, or hop on the VV Theory Discord. Link will be in the channel description. Now, let's do this, guys. Let's get right into it. Real quick, before we dive into the actual card database here, or the card gallery, we're not going to go through all the cards, but I do want to at least point something out real quick. They have released the Riftbound core rules. We're not going to be going over this in today's video, but I will link this in the comments section below for you to check out at your own leisure, okay? 65-page core rule book, okay? A lot to read up on to figure out how to play this game and to know what to do. Okay, so I will have that linked in the comments section below, and I will also have this card gallery linked in the comments section below for you guys to also, check out at your own leisure. Because again, we're not going to go through every one of these cards, guys. First of all, not every card has been spoiled yet, but we're not going to go through all these cards in today's video. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. At least by my standards, I've been known to be pretty long-winded, and my videos run up to an hour long on average, guys. I can yap and keep on going. So I'm going to try to make this a pretty condensed video and kind of wrap things up as quickly as possible here. But there's a lot of stuff to talk about. First things first, check this out. Blazing Scorcher. Okay, I don't really care. Like, it doesn't matter what this card is in particular. Notice the new formatting of these cards. They look so much better than before, at least in my personal opinion. The cards before looked terrible. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean. Some people might have liked them because they were very clean, to be fair, but it looked a little bit lazy to me and a little bit rushed compared to other cards in today's day and age. The TCGs in today's day and age, the standards are so high. The original cards that they put out with like the white border, everything, it just looked empty. It looked not complete. But this new look, this new layout, this new formatting, this new design looks so good. Looks really good. And it's all very intuitive, too. For anyone who's been playing card games for, some time, you're going to know right away, oh, okay, at the top left, looks like we have a cost. Top right, looks like we have our attack because there's like a sword and a shield. So maybe that's like our attack and defense combined. Look, right here, this is a unit, Noxus. That means that looks like that's going to be the faction it's associated with. And then Dragon, okay, that's probably the type. And then Blazing Scorcher, there's the name with the red banner, so we know what color this card is associated with. Like maybe you have to pay red just to be able to play this card out. Not exactly sure about that just yet. And then we have the effect right here. One more thing I want to mention as well is I don't really know all the rules just yet. The rules did just come out, and I've only seen a few games of playtesting online. But I am going to try to have a video dedicated to the terms and the types in this game in the future. Okay, in the not so distant future, in the near future. But yeah, the design of these new cards looks so much better in my opinion. Very intuitive design, makes sense. I feel like I can look at it as a veteran card player and I just know what's going on. Okay, so good stuff there. Great job by Riot and the guys over there, whoever's on the development team. So it looks like we have a unit here. Notice this. This is a unit. Speaking of types, looks like we have a spell as well. Deal 3 to a unit at a battlefield. If this kills it, draw a card. So very cool stuff there. It looks like we're going to have a lot of different lines of play where you can, pay for to knock out a unit, drawing a card, and going from there. Always good to see that. And check this out. Let's talk about runes real quick. I believe that this is going to be the resource system in this game. We'll talk about this more as we get down, as we go down the page, but it looks like there's going to be about 6 different colors in the game. I think there's going to be red, yellow, green, blue, purple, and orange, I believe. Yeah, I think there's going to be 6, and it's nice to see these. It looks like instead of just being red, this is going to be Fury, and as we go down the list, we'll see all the different names of the different runes. And whenever you're going to construct your deck, you're going to have a rune deck on the side, I believe. If I understand everything correctly from the little bit that I've seen, you have your main deck, which is going to have all your cards in that you play the game with, and then you're going to have a legend that's going to be like your leader or your hero. Like if you're used to a game like One Piece, you're going to have a leader that sits outside the game, just like a leader would in One Piece, and it's called the legend in this game. That's your legend. And if you're used to something like Flesh and Blood, okay, well, you're going to have your hero that starts outside of your deck, just like how it is in Flesh and Blood. They're called your legend, okay? But these runes here, they're going to be in their own deck. It's not like a sideboard. It's not a side deck. It's going to be in something called like a resource deck or a rune deck, I believe, in this game. And that's where your resources are going to be housed, you know, throughout your game. So that's pretty cool. That is something that that One Piece uses. That's the main card game that I cover, for those who are not aware. The main game that I cover is the One Piece trading card game on my main channel. But these runes seem very similar to the Dawn resource system they use in that game. Not the exact same, but very, very similar. And I do like that. I'm not going to lie. I love the way that they have solved that. I feel like that's a modern thing. I feel like that's just the way that trading card games have progressed. If you're trying to build in a resource system, if you can get the resource system outside of the main deck, I do feel like that is a good thing to have, right? So that way, you know, I do come from Magic the Gathering as well. That was like the first trading card game I really got into, I think about 15 years ago now or something like that. And, you know, in that game, you know, this game's not going to be like that, where the resources are inside your main deck and, you know, you might draw too many of them or you might not draw enough of them. Well, in this game, they're just going to be outside your deck. Okay, I spent enough time talking about that, right? Let's move on. So it's nice to see these runes here, and check out the alt arts, guys. I want to point out a few things at the bottom left of this card. Number one, the art looks really cool on this. Like, it's a really cool design for the alt art. But look at this. Notice this is 007A out of 298. Well, the card we just looked at is 7, right? So for the alt arts, they're going to be putting an A right next to them. That's nice. That's a nice, clean design, so we know it's an alt art. And who knows, maybe in upcoming sets, there might be, like, you know, just for this example, like there might be 7, 7A, 7B, 7C, like for a few different alt arts of the same card. That could be pretty cool in the future. But this looks really nice here. And notice 298 cards in the base set. That's a good sign. They're definitely trying to start this game out right and get it off to a good start. Okay, moving on. We do have another spell here. It looks like Get Excited. I'm going to try to keep an eye out for the different types in here, but everything else looks like we've already seen. Now, this one has a silver border. I noticed most of these have like a bronze orangish border, except this card had silver. Like this rune here had a silver border, and so does this card. Not sure if that means anything special. If you know, by all means, tell us in the comments section below. And again, we're not going to kind of go over these cards just yet. I'll try to go over the keywords and the terms and the types of cards in another video, but I'm just kind of trying to pay attention to certain things as we go through this. So here we have Darius. Now, this is a champion unit. It looks like there's going to be units in the game and then champion units. And these are, of course, based off of League of Legends characters. Now, I do have some background in League of Legends, if I did not already mention that. So it is nice seeing these characters in a card game. It is something I can relate to, and they just look awesome, right? If I'm not mistaken, this looks like it's art pulled straight from the game League of Legends. Looks really, really good. And again, unfortunately, I don't know just yet, guys, just how powerful these cards are. And look at this. This is an alt art version of Darius, okay? Really cool stuff here. I don't know how powerful these cards are, so I'm not going to talk on that just yet. That'll be its own video as well in the future. But yeah, really good looking style here. These cards are starting to look very unique. Like, okay, this is what this game Riftbound is going to look like. And I'm a big fan of this so far. It looks really good. Okay, let's keep going. Very nice. Look at this. Here's Jinx, this champion unit Jinx. So this is like the standard art of it, number 30. And now look at look at 30A here. Here's the alt art version of it. Looks really cool. That way you can also switch things up, right? If you're not a big fan of how Jinx looks here, you might like it better in the alt art version. Of course, looks really good. Let's keep going. Got Tryndamere, Vi. Awesome. Awesome seeing these names from League of Legends. This is something... This is nothing against One Piece, of course. That's the main game that I cover, and it's a game that I really, really enjoy. But when I see the characters, it's hard for me to relate because I didn't grow up watching One Piece, right? So I don't have a lot of relation to, like, the lore and the story. Whereas League of Legends, okay, yeah, I've got a lot of background in that game. I've been playing League of Legends pretty much since it came out. So really cool stuff there. So check out this Volibear. Okay, I don't even know which one I like better. The standard art for the card, this one right here, or this alt art. I mean, you guys tell me what y'all think in the comment section below, but these are both incredible. These look so good. And here's the Calm rune. So here's the green one. And like I said, so red was Fury, green is Calm. That's really cool how they're doing that. And who knows, maybe they add more colors in the future. You never know, right? You never know. We'll have to see. So we got, here's a spell right here, guys, to move an enemy unit. I'm trying to pay a little bit of attention to the text on these, just to kind of see if we can see anything we can, notice here. And move an enemy unit. I wonder if that's going to be like a bounce effect where you can bounce a character back to their hand. I'm not sure where you can move them just yet, but that sounds like it could be pretty powerful, especially for one. Okay. Okay, Defy, counter a spell that has no more than 4. That costs no more than 4 and no more than whatever that symbol right there is. Check that out. Really amazing art and seeing a counter spell. So I'm probably going to be talking about a lot about Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood, and One Piece, because those are the games I kind of just know. It's what my history is in TCGs. And seeing a counter spell again, that's something I haven't seen since playing Magic the Gathering, which was many years ago now. And that is... It's a sight for sore eyes, right? Because one thing about One Piece is that's not really a game where counter spells can work. Because number one, there are no spells in that game. You're summoning a crew of pirates to go fight each other, right? It's very much, like a crew battling game, which is great, right? It has its own purpose, right? It has its own placing in the TCG world. But this card here, seeing a counter spell again, oh man, that gets me kind of excited. I do like to see that. That's a word I didn't think I'd get excited about, at least not for a long time, and here we are. Stand United, really cool stuff here. Looks like there's quite a bit of text, and that is something I should have been paying attention to. It looks like there's not too much text on all these cards, and the font is big enough where it looks like I can read it and not get overwhelmed with what the card's trying to do. So that's good, because that's something I think ever since, I think some card games that people need to stay away from, like the design principles of, would be something like... Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Vanguard. They have like number one, the card size is, I think it's called like Japanese card size standard, or Japanese cards. I don't know what they're called. Okay. It's like the card size they use in Japan, and it's not your standard like Magic the Gathering size cards. And that's terrible, right? First of all, they're like these little compact cards, and they try to squeeze all of this text on a card like that. It's hard to do. And seeing this like this is very readable, even though there's quite a bit of information on this card, but it all looks pretty easy to read. It's nice and spaced out very well, so that's good to see. Let's keep going here. We got Discipline. Looks like we got some buff cards that draw cards like that Cantrip. Ari, very nice. Oh, another thing I want to mention here. Notice what this says: when I hold, you score 1 point. That is something interesting. Okay, and as I say that, check it out. Another counterspell over here. Another counterspell over here. One thing I noticed about the rules, again, we're not going to really focus on the rules here, but I wanted to point this out because I thought it was very interesting. Notice right here under the silver rule, cards refer to themselves in the first person. So units and legends say I, me, etc. Gear and spells say this, and then battlefields say here. So I found that kind of interesting. Again, we're not going to focus too much on that in today's video, but look at this, guys. Ari says, when I hold, you score 1 point. So really cool stuff there. Speaking of that, that's another thing we have to talk about in another video, is how do you win in this game? What is the win condition? This is kind of like a mixture between like your standard card games where you're battling over points, you're battling over objectives and things like that. And then, but here's the thing, it's also kind of like Lorcana, where once you score a certain amount of points, you just win the game. So it's not that you're beating down your opponent. You're actually just, now you might be beating your opponent down, in all fairness. You might be fighting them and taking them down, but you're really just trying to secure objectives and win on points. And notice what this says: when I hold, you score 1 point. So if you hold with this character, you score a point, and that's going to push you closer to your win condition. So really cool stuff there. And here's the alt art for it. Looks really good as well. Very cool. Oh man, Yasuo. Okay, check this out. We have a gear card here. We have Zhonya's Hourglass. I don't know if it's Zanya's. I've always called this item Zhonya's. Zhonya's Hourglass. And for those who are not aware, Zhonya's is a very iconic item in the League of Legends universe, right? In the League of Legends game. And notice what it does. Let's read it. It says hidden. Okay, hide now for that symbol there, whatever that means, to react later for 0. The next time a friendly unit would die, kill this instead, recall that unit exhausted. Send it to base. This isn't a move. Okay, so it looks like you're going to have a way to protect your character, which is what Zhonya's did. Zhonya's Hourglass, that's what it did in the game. Really cool stuff there. That's gear. I'm surprised they didn't go with a more generic name like item, because they're called items, I believe, in the game, right? That's a very generic name, but it makes sense. Gear, I guess it makes sense too. Okay, but yeah, Yasuo, man, this alt-art for Yasuo goes crazy. Looks so good. Tell me what y'all think of this stuff in the comment section below, please. Lee Sin, oh man, the alt-art. And these look like they're skins in the game. I think I already mentioned that, but these look like alt-art skins from the actual game. Really cool stuff there. Okay, we got White Flame Protector. Now, notice this is a unit Mount Targon and Dragon. So this is just some massive 8-cost character here. Excuse me, it has 8 cost and 8 attack. And a lot of stuff here. When you play me, give a unit +8 this turn. So this is going to come down and buff up your board. Seems really good. And I don't know what all the colors are known for yet. Like, I'm sure red's usually like the aggro color. Green might be the growth color. That would make sense, right? Blue is typically the intellect color or like the information knowledge color. Notice we have the mind rune here. Looks really cool. Love that. Really love the art on these. And it looks like, let me see something here. Okay, check this out, just to get a little bit of the flavor. For one cost here, you can stupefy something. It's a spell that has give a unit -1 attack or something, -1 attack power this turn or whatever that is to a minimum of 1, so it can't go to 0, and then draw a card. Okay, so you're lowering their attack. So it looks like this is going to be the trickster color. We're going to lower your attack. We're going to draw cards and do things like that. Seems very cool. And we'll see. I'm not exactly sure yet, guys. That's just like my first initial thoughts on it. Okay. Yep, and usually blue has something to do with like spells, right? Okay, when you play a spell, you're going to give me 1 of this like attack power for the turn. Really cool. Okay, let's keep going. All right, so down here we have more. So here's Kaisa. This looks amazing. This looks absolutely amazing. Incredible. And look, in the alt art to these, I mean, honestly, I kind of like the original art on this one a little bit better, but that's just more of a preference thing. Looks really good. Okay. Not going to get too caught up on that. Actually, we will read ganking real quick. I can move from battlefield to battlefield. So another thing I'm going to mention here, as I stutter all over myself, it looks like in this game there's going to be battlefields, and again I'm going to dedicate way more video time to like how the game plays out and stuff like that in the future. But when this game's playing out as you're attacking, it's very much like League of Legends, the MOBA, the game that this TCG is based off of. You're going to a battlefield and you're going to fight there. Okay, so notice what this card says. Ganking, I can move from battlefield to battlefield. So typically that's not easy to do. But this character, because they have ganking, they have like movement capabilities. That's really cool. Okay, let's keep going. We have more gear here. This is a Seal of Insight, and I do think every color has their own seal, and it looks like it's just like a way to ramp Dawn a little, or ramp Dawn. There I am with the One Piece lingo. You're going to be able to ramp resources, I believe, with this with these type of gears, these seals. Okay, all right, check this out. Okay, that's a really crazy alt art here. I mean, actually no, it doesn't have the A next to it, so I know this should not be an alt art. But check this out, guys. So we got a 7-cost event here. Exhaust all friendly units. A 7-cost event. Again, more One Piece lingo. A 7-cost spell, excuse me. Unchecked power. Exhaust all friendly units. Then deal 12 to all units at battlefields. So it looks like we got a little bit of a board clear here. Seems good. We always take those. I think board clears are always very healthy in games. It's something I wish One Piece had more of, or more like dependable board clear, but who knows? Maybe in the future. But it looks like this card's going right into it with it. And I think that's very common, by the way, to have board clear right away. Okay, so now we have orange. We have the body rune here. This looks amazing. Again, all of these different runes look really, really cool. And let's see, we got a 2-cost spell here called Challenge. Let's see what orange is all about. Choose a friendly unit and an enemy unit. They deal damage equal to their mights to each other. Okay, so a little bit of some brawling going on. That's really cool. Big fan of that. You're challenging someone. You're going to duke it out and fight each other. Always good to see. Okay. Looks like this has, when you play me, ready another unit. So it looks like you're going to play this card out and give another unit basically the ability to attack, or to attack again maybe. Depends. Seems good. Wow, look at that art. Okay, we got a 7 cost here, and it looks like, so this is a unit Stormclaw Ursine. Okay, I actually thought this was Volibear, but no, this is actually a unit here, like maybe from the same, you know, tribe as Volibear. Looks really awesome, but it's a 7-cost unit with 6 power, and it has tank. I must be assigned combat damage first. Interesting. Okay, very interesting. Starting to get a real feel for how this game's going to be. When you play me, channel 1 rune exhausted. So channeling a rune, that seems like resource ramping, like ramping your resources. And look at this. Channel 1 rune exhausted if you can't draw a card. Okay, so actually I thought green would be more about the growth, but it looks like orange might be. It looks like orange with the body runes here. These are going to be more about ramping, ramping up your resources very quickly. Look at this. Yeah, wow. Catalyst of Eons, channel 2 runes exhausted, and if you couldn't channel 2 runes this way, draw a card. So maybe, again, I'm assuming, if I'm understanding the terminology correctly here, I'm just going purely off of like playing other games, like the concept of how TCGs work, just fundamental stuff here. It looks like channeling 2 runes is probably going to be ramping up your resources. Seems really cool. And if not, you're drawing a card, has utility for later in the game. Seems good. Really cool stuff here. All right, let's keep going. I'm slowing down too much. Let's keep going. Okay. Okay, Volibear. All right. I had a feeling we'd see this, right? This is just too good. Shield 3. So this has +3 while it's a defender. Wow. Okay, so that's cool. So it looks like that effect there is an attack and defense stat. So guys, it looks like, again, if I'm understanding these cards correctly, it looks like this effect, or this, this number at the top right here, that is going to be your attack and defense. So if you're attacking with that number, and if you're defending with it. And notice this Volibear has shield 3. So when you're defending with this character, you're going to get +3 to that stat in order to defend from your opponent's attack. And then in this character also, this champion unit, Volibear, also has tank. I must be assigned combat damage first, just like the other character we saw, where you're going to have to attack into that. Seems good. Okay, not going to keep reading that. Okay, Misfortune looking absolutely amazing. Look at that art, guys. Holy cow. Holy cow, that looks so good. Has ganking and accelerate. Let's read accelerate. You may pay 1 in that, so pay 2 as an additional cost to have me enter ready. So sounds like that's going to be rush or haste or something like that. Seems good. Okay, let's keep going. All right, now down to the purple stuff. Let's just get a feel for these. Return a unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. So it looks like purple's going to have ways to bounce cards to hand. Death Knell, discard 2, then draw 2. When I die, get the effect. Okay, so Death Knell seems like it's going to be an on KO effect when this character gets removed type of effect. Very nice. When a friendly unit moves from my location, I may be moved with it. Okay, so we got some little bit of tricks going on there. Here's a gear card, Pack of Wonders. Tap the, okay, there's the tap symbol in this game. Notice that it's like, so you turn the card sideways, return another friendly gear unit or hidden card to its owner's hand. So a lot of bouncing going on with purple. Looks like purple's going to be just bouncing stuff out of the way. Very cool. Let's look at this whirlwind card too. Starting with the next player, each player may return a unit to its owner's hand. Each player may return a unit to its owner's hand? Okay, that's interesting. That could be pretty fun. That sounds pretty fun. We got Kane here, okay, which has ganking, of course. If for anyone who plays the game, that would make sense, right? If I have moved twice this turn, I don't take damage. Whoa, okay, seems good. All right, so purple's very much a trickster color in this game, even more so than blue seemed to be. And right now, we're just kind of blasting through these. I should have spent more time on red now after kind of looking at these. I'll try to go back up to it again at the end to kind of recap. Okay, we got Jinx here, Rebel. When you discard 1 or more cards, ready me and give me +1 attack. Okay, so that's going to be some combo stuff going on there, right? So say you attack in and this card gets tapped down. Okay, then whenever you discard a card, stand and then give me +1 for the turn. So it's going to attack in even more aggressively. And then if you could stand it again, maybe you can attack again. I don't know. That sounds like it could be very, very strong. Seems very much... Maybe purple will be like a combo color. That could be kind of cool. Check out this other Jinx art. Really cool. Okay, here's the Seal of Discord for purple. Again, these seals look like they're gears for every color. I know I skipped over some of them, but I think every color has these gear seals that basically work as like a way to ramp your, almost like an artifact for the Magic the Gathering players out there, where you can just, tap these down and gain a resource, an extra resource for the turn. Okay, now we're down to the yellow cards, it looks like. Now we're, okay, Cull the Weak. Here we go. Each player kills one of their units. All right, that's pretty extreme. Seems pretty strong. Let me see this. As an additional cost to play me, kill a friendly unit. Okay. All right, so I think I see what's going on here with yellow. This is very much like, it's almost like black in the color the color black in Magic the Gathering, like the color of ambition, where it's like, okay, hey guys, sacrifices are going to have to be made, so good luck everybody. But no, this looks, man, that looks so good. This just screams Paladin. I pretty much go to Paladin. Like, if there's an option to go a Paladin in a game I'm playing, I'm probably going to be doing that. Pretty much no matter what game it is. I really love that. Okay, and here we go. So now just to kind of combo the ideas we were just looking at by sacrificing your own characters, where you have to, you know, as an additional cost to play this character, you have to sack your own friendly unit. Okay, check this out. Soaring Scout has Death Knell. When this card, when it gets, you know, sacrificed, get the effect. Channel 1 rune exhausted. So there's going to be some kind of option, I'm sure, to be able to sacrifice this to ramp it on and cheat out something really big like this Cruel Patron. Really cool stuff there, guys. That's actually really interesting. Okay, let's look. Okay, we got to check this guy out real quick. We got Solari Chief, a 5 cost with a 4 attack. Let's see what it does. When you play me, choose an enemy unit. If it is stunned, kill it. Otherwise, stun it. It doesn't deal combat damage this turn. So you can stun in this game. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. That's going to be kind of like a, almost like a, I mean, it's a stun effect, right? They're not attacking. So that's very cool. I bet that's going to be very annoying to play against. What is this? All right, hang on. We got Grand Stratagem. This costs 6, and then it's an action. Give friendly units +5 attack this turn. Or +5, you know, strength or whatever it is this turn. Seems good. Okay, and here we go. We got an 8 cost. That's only a 6, but let's see what it does. When you play me, kill an enemy unit. All right, very cool. All right, so yellow seems like the color of destruction here, guys. I did not expect that. When I think of yellow or gold or whatever this color actually is, yeah, I feel like I was thinking that this was going to be like a Paladin color. This seems like a very aggressive color here, guys. Here's Leona, Determined. It says when I attack, stun an enemy unit there. Okay, or here, excuse me. Very cool. So you're stunning units when you're attacking there. We do have to read set real quick. Hang on. We got a 4 cost with a 5 attack. Okay. I don't know if that's like really good stats just yet. I still have to kind of learn what's going on with this game. But, you know, you're paying 4 and you're getting 5 seems good because we just looked at this card that's a 4/4. This Leona. Oh, excuse me. That's just an Tart. Okay, so let's look at this card. So set has I get +1 for each buffed friendly unit at my battlefield. Okay, so the more people around him, the stronger he gets. Seems good. Seems really good. Okay, what's going on here? Okay, so now we're finally down to the end here. I'm going to start wrapping it up soon. Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. First of all, check out this Seal of Unity. Looks incredible. You'd think this is an Tart. It's not, guys. Look, there's no A by the 245. This just looks amazing. But here we go. So now at the very bottom here, these are the leaders in this game. They're called legends. These are like the heroes or the leaders. And they're the legends in this game that you build your entire deck around. And notice this, they are dual colors. Okay? This is kind of similar, I think, to Lorcana, for any of the Lorcana players out there, where you have, like, basically always have 2 colors to work with. Now, in One Piece, sometimes you have 2 colors to work with, other times you don't. And who knows? That could be something they do in the future for this game. You know, number one, I would not be surprised if they add another color in the future. I think that'd be really cool. They might not. I'm not saying they will. I have no idea. But I think that would be kind of cool for this game if they did that in the future. But so that's number one, is they could add another color in the future. And number two is, who knows, in the future, maybe we'll see a, you know, a single color leader. I think that's always a very cool thing if you have like a single colored stuff, you know, when there's different options and whatnot. But really cool stuff here. And let's check out with this red and blue. So we got, so what was it? Fury and Mind are the runes here. Legend Kaisa, Daughter of the Void. You can tap this legend, okay, as a reaction to add something here, and you can use only to play spells. Abilities that add resources can't be reacted to. Okay, so that's interesting. Apparently, abilities that add resources, those cannot be reacted to. So you're going to be able to tap down this Kaisa legend here, and that sounds weird to say. I'm not used to that yet. You can tap down your leader, is what I want to say, but you can tap down your legend, and you can add a resource. So seems good. That seems really, really solid. That's going to help you ramp up pretty quickly. But that didn't seem like a red and blue or Fury and Mind effect. I felt like that was like more of an orange body effect. Okay, and check this out. We have signature spells for Kaisa. This one's called, I don't know how to say that, Icathian Rain. Do this 6 times, deal 2 to a unit. You can choose different units. So you're going to pay 7 for this signature Kaisa spell to deal 6 different 2 damages to different units, right? Or even to the same unit. It can be different targets. It can be the same or different targets. And so you're basically paying 7 to deal 12. Seems good. Okay, that's really cool, and the art looks incredible. Really awesome borderless art here. Look at Volibear, guys. Holy cow. Let's see what he does. We're going to read what all these leaders do, guys, just to get an idea. So this is Fury plus Body. Okay, red and orange. Relentless Storm. When you play a mighty unit. Okay, I wasn't looking for mighty. I'm not going to lie. Oh, okay, it says a unit is mighty while it has 5 or more of this little attack stat. Okay, so when you play a mighty unit, you may exhaust me to channel 1 rune exhausted. Okay, so whenever you play out these big characters that have 5 or more attack, you're going to be able to rest your leader to ramp a dawn. Sorry, guys, my apologies again. That's that One Piece player coming out, that One Piece content creator. But you're going to be able to rest this guy down to channel a rune exhausted. Seems good. Seems very, very powerful. You're playing out big characters, and you're getting rewarded for doing it by getting, being able to play out even bigger characters. Okay, really good stuff there. Or being able to play out bigger characters even faster, I should say. Stormbringer. Check out that art. That is intense, guys. Okay, so this is a 6-cost signature spell for Volibear called Stormbringer, and it says choose a friendly unit in your base. Deal damage equal to its might to all enemy units at a battlefield. Then move your unit there. Okay, so you're just going to blast the battlefield with one of these big characters you were able to blitz out and then just take over the battlefield. Now, that seems really strong. That seems really, really strong. Okay, and who knows? It might be terrible, guys. We'll have to see what happens. The game's not out yet, but that seems really good. Okay, next up we have Jinx. So we have, this is a Fury and Chaos. Okay, Fury and Chaos was the, I think was the purple one. We have Jinx here. Loose Cannon at start of your, I think it should say at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. Okay, so at the start of your beginning phase, draw 1 if you have 1 or fewer cards in your hand. So that means that this combo of red plus purple or Fury plus Chaos is probably going to be all about trashing cards from your hand, ditching cards from your hand to get powerful effects. And then once you get super low in your hand size, no problem. That's where your Leader's effect, your Legends effect is going to kick in and start drawing you cards. Seems good. Seems really good. Let's see this. Okay, check out Jinx's signature spell here. Super Mega Death Rocket. Deal 5 to a unit. It costs 4. When you conquer, you may discard 1 to return this from your trash to your hand. Okay, so every time you conquer something, again, I'm not exactly sure what that means yet. We'll figure that out later. But whenever you conquer something, you're discarding a card, just like I was saying with the Leader effect. Okay, perfect synergy there, and you're getting this card back to your hand. Seems good. Okay, we got... I don't think I should go through every one of these guys. I think it'll take a little too long. Okay, but one thing I do want to mention, it looks like there's tokens in this game, guys. Check this out. There are tokens in this game. This game has a lot of things I wish that One Piece had. I'm going to say that right now. One Piece actually does not have tokens just yet. I wish they would add more tokens to the game. Or, excuse me, I wish they would add tokens to the game of One Piece in a balanced way. I'm not saying it'd be easy to balance at this point because of the way the game's designed, but I think that'd be like a good benefit to any TCG is adding tokens to the game. That's number 1. Number 2 is the board clear. I won't even get started on that. Anyone who watches my main channel knows what I'm about to say about that, or they know what I'm thinking at least. I think there needs to be a good board clear in every single card game. And then, last but not least, it's just kind of cool to see the counter spells in this game. And again, that's not really something One Piece can do, but it is cool to see again. Okay, again, I'm not going to go through all these. If you guys want to see any more of these, okay, we're going to do one. We're going to do Yasuo. We got to see this one. This is a green and purple. So what was that? Calm plus Chaos. Pay 2 and tap this legend. Move a friendly unit to or from your base. Okay, interesting. So you can kind of protect stuff. And then we have to read the signature spell here. Check that out for 3. Last breath, action. Ready a friendly unit. It deals damage equal to its might to an enemy unit at a battlefield. Very, very cool. And I absolutely love the art here. Okay. Again, if you want to check this out, be sure to check it out at your own leisure. I will be going over these at another time in the future. I do plan on doing a full, entire set breakdown once all these cards have been revealed. Okay, hang on. We have to see this. Look at this extra hidden content at the bottom here. We got some Tarts. Look at this, guys. We have, like, this is number 300 with a star next to it. What is this, like 300? Okay, this is 305. This is a signature Volibear Tart. Wow, holy cow, it looks so good. And look, it's got the artist signature there, I believe. I'm assuming. Yeah, it looks like it matches the name at the bottom here where it says Alex Flores. Really awesome. Let me see this one. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name, but it looks really cool. So good, man. I think they're doing this right, guys. We'll have to see what happens. We'll see if they can keep it up, but it looks like Riot's doing everything right so far, and it looks like we got a pretty good idea of what all these different colors are going to do. Again, just to kind of recap so we can finish, summarize and finish this up. I do want to look at red real quick because we didn't actually look at this. What do these do? Accelerate, pay 2 and it enters in ready. Okay, we kind of looked at that. Disintegrate, here's a spell, deal 3 to a unit, and if it kills it, draw a card. So, okay, we got some damage going on here. And as you play me, you may discard a card as an additional cost, and if you do, reduce my cost by 2. Okay, so you have ways to cheat out characters. Okay, and Accelerate was giving you Rush. This has Assault 2. You get +2 of your attack stat while attacking, and when you play me, discard a card. Oh, okay. So here's that discard stuff we were looking at for Jinx. Remember, Jinx was like red and purple. Like, it looks like red has a lot to do with the discard stuff. Well, maybe not. Some of these don't, though. Hang on. This one. Okay, yeah, this one does. Discard 1. So discard a card and then deal its energy cost as damage to a unit at a battlefield. That is a really cool design card. And again, you're trashing a bunch of cards from your hand, right? Or, excuse me, discarding a bunch of cards from your hand to do this. You're paying 2 to play out this spell, which should go to your, to your graveyard or your trash afterwards, and you're discarding a card with it to deal damage to get rid of a character. So you're getting rid of their character, getting cards out of your hand, and getting closer down to one, card in your hand. So your Legends effect turns on. That is really cool. So it looks like red's going to have a lot of discarding going on. A lot of sacrificing cards from your hand to get beneficial effects. Okay, so that was red. And then going down to green, this had, this one looked like it had a bunch of buffing going on, but it has move an enemy unit. So it's got movement, and then it had this right here. It had counter a spell that costs no more than 4, and no more than some type of color there. That's interesting. So it has a counter ability. It has moving. It can move units around, and then give a friendly unit +1, and then an additional +1. If it's the only unit you control there. What else? As an additional cost to play this, you may exhaust a friendly unit, and if you do, draw 2, otherwise draw 1. So you have ways to tap down characters to draw extra cards. All right, hang on. This card should really explain to us what green does. Buff a friendly unit. Buffs give an additional +1 to a friendly unit this turn. Okay, I'm not sure I fully understand that. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. While I'm attacking or defending alone, I have +2. So again, green is kind of like growth, but it's really more about buffing your character. So I guess like self-growth, personal growth, which makes sense. You have well, no, this says stand united, but you have discipline, meditation. It's like making yourself stronger, right? That's pretty cool. In this wind wall right here to counter a spell, that seems, that always seems really good. And actually, one thing I do want to mention, notice this is counter a spell. Well, I say that for the Magic the Gathering players out there. Remember, in Magic, if I'm not mistaken, unless things have changed over the years, everything you play is a spell. Whether you're playing a creature, whether you're playing a planeswalker, whether you're playing a sorcery or an instant, they are, whatever I just said, spells, right? It can be an instant spell, a sorcery spell, a creature spell, a planeswalker spell, right? So whenever you have a counter spell effect in Magic, it can counter anything. But in this game, it says counter a spell, and I would imagine that it only means cards that say spell on them. You see what I'm saying? That might have sounded obvious to some people, but the Magic players out there, hopefully you understood what I was saying. It seems like there's going to be some distinction there. There's going to be a difference. Okay, then we got to blue. That was a lot of trickster stuff going on. A lot of like power reduction going on. A lot of card draw and buffing based off of cool interactions around that. Body seemed like the ramping color, like where you're going really high on resources as quickly as possible, ramping up your resources. Purple had a lot of trickster stuff going on. It had a bunch of bouncing. Look at this, return a unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand. Discard 2, draw 2. Return a character to the owner's hand. When a friendly unit moves from my location, I may be moved with it. So there's some tricks right there, moving stuff with you. When I move, discard a draw card. So discard 1, draw 1. Yeah, a lot of like moving stuff around and like even again, I call it tricks. It's like it looked like it had a lot of like. Let me go back real quick. I wanted to see one more thing. Yeah, it really has more to do with like cycling almost. Return a unit at a battlefield with 3 attack or less to its owner's hand. So a lot of bouncing going on, and then some discarding cards to draw cards. Okay, so a lot of cycling going on here. Okay, purple, pretty interesting. Let's keep going. And then yellow was just craziness, where you're sacrificing your own characters to take out your opponent's character or something like that. It's the color of sacrifice. That's what I'm going to call it for now. I mean, excuse me, it's the color of order. Okay, it's the color of order. But yeah, each player kills one of their units. Okay, that's a little extreme, but that's probably going to be the best way to deal with something like orange, where they're buffing, they're ramping out these massive characters. Like, oh, okay, you want to ramp out some really massive character? Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll sacrifice one of my characters and you have to sacrifice one of yours. And it's like they had to sacrifice some massive character, whereas you're sacrificing like a little 2-cost Soaring Scout here that also lets you channel a rune Exhausted. So, okay, very cool stuff, guys. That's really about all I wanted to go over for today's video. We just kind of went over all the different stuff in the game. Actually, let me jump down to the bottom here. We'll leave off with one of these really amazing cards on the screen. We'll leave Misfortune on here. Give a unit ganking this turn. Okay. Awesome. All right, well, that's it, guys. Like I said, this game looks incredible. I cannot wait to get my hands on this. I do not know exactly when this when this game will be coming out in the West. If anyone knows, by all means, say something in the comment section below, but I will be keeping my eyes on this. These new cards look incredible. Again, just to kind of summarize, guys, like the new style looks really good of these cards. The way they cleaned it all up, it's starting to take shape. It's starting to look like, okay, so this is what Riftbound looks like. It has its own look now, and it looks really good. What else? So the designs look good. The alt-arts look incredible. The set's going to be massive, about 300 cards in the very first set. And I think OGN at the bottom left, I think that stands for Origin. I think that's what they're going to call the first set. But yeah, it looks really good. Can't wait to play this. As soon as I can get my hands on some type of digital version of the game, I'll try to put some games in. And I do know, I think people... I heard somewhere that there is a tabletop simulator version of the game. I'll see if I can get my hands on that. I'm not a huge fan of using tabletop simulator, but hey, if I can play the game a little bit earlier than I would have normally, should be fun to kind of mess around with. Okay, and I think that's about it, guys. I'm trying to think that if there's anything else I want to say before I wrap up this video. Yeah, no, that's got to be it. All right, again, if you guys have any comments, questions, or suggestions, or if I missed something, please don't hesitate to say something in the comments section below. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks for making it this long if you did. Appreciate all the support. And, oh, that's what I was going to say. Moving forward, whenever they do finally have a full set release, once we see all the cards on this card gallery and this card database, that's when I'll probably do a video going over the entire set. I'll probably break it into a few parts so it's not too overwhelming, because it's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. And I also plan on covering not just games in the future, like going over that, but I also want to go over the rules and kind of mention, like, kind of like a tutorial how to play the game as well. Okay? All right, I'm done. Hope y'all enjoyed. Till next time. Peace.